Got a copy on me, both? Cool. Run the windows up, keep the heat in today. Alright, bro, we're going to get them up the road so we don't catch them too quickly here.
Okay.
So we're going to keep those eyes up, looking ahead here as we head out. And once we leave the no-wake zone of the Pillion, of course, have a triple check that mirror as we head up the hill into turn 2. Alright, we'll check that mirror here, partner. Get those eyes up, looking ahead for your reference marks. And again, this morning, just kind of getting our bearings under us, looking to where the track is, where it goes, looking for our reference marks. We'll get down to that apex. So, right to that apex of turn 3 there, that sets our entire radius as we head up the hill here through 4. We'll let the car run out across the seam in the road at the top, bring it back across. Here's an important bit here. We want to get that car squared up to the edge of the road and then down on that brake pedal. As you came across there, we almost dropped a wheel off on the right there into the grass. Be mindful of that. We definitely do not want to drop wheels off. So that's why I say try to get that car squared up as much as possible. Squeezing back on that throttle like a volume knob. And again, we'll be braking just before the brake sign here. Good squeeze, a little less brake, trail the brakes. You see my taillight sailing through here, trailing the brake. Hands straighten up. I go a little more brake pressure, then a little less, a little less, a little less. And then use the compression of the camber of the road here to catch the car. Squeeze and then back the throttle and the car run out to the track out. Up here to the S's. This is a light brush, just enough brake to bring the taillights on. And then steady throttle through the middle. We're not building speed through the middle of these corners, we're just sustaining. Now I can squeeze as my hands straighten. A bit more throttle down the back straightaway. And again here, braking for turn 12. This is actually the same procedure as we used back at the museum turn there at 7, 8, and 9. Trail the brake past that clipping point, get my eyes started to look up the hill, and I'll eventually release the brake just before that hill begins there as I start to roll up the hill. The compression catches the car. A little lift down the other side. Long, easy brake here. Patience. Seam in the road, it's hard to see. Comes to the middle of the car. Now we're going to get down to about the last 8 feet. Perfect, just like that. Of turn 15, a little lift for 16. Out on the front straightaway. And unless you have split personalities or something I don't know about, you can switch if you want, but otherwise stay in line. You're doing great. Down here to turn 1, down on that brake. A little less brake. This is a quick corner. 4th gear in a manual car. Smooth brake release by that apex. A little bit of throttle, then straight line brake up the hill. I want to keep the car within the confines of this first right-hand lane. Patience. And this is where in the last lap we got a little wide. I want to get right down to that green cone. Just like this. That sets my radius all the way to turn 5. A little throttle, a little less steering. Vision above the road. And again, anywhere we put out an orange post, get your vision to the top of that post and beyond it. That's the height your vision wants to take. Straight line brake here. Watch the edge of the road. Turn 5, good spot. Turn our heads, look over the mirror on the driver's door. Trail that brake to at least the middle of the corner. Back on a little throttle. Back on low throttle here, looking ahead. Push the brake here. Stabilize the car, light throttle here, and keeping the eyes up. There you go, folks. Keep those eyes up. Looking good. Follow the road surface of the vision. Squeeze on that throttle here. Those eyes up. We're going to get a little bit of traffic up here ahead of us, so with that, we need to be ready for a little bit of a check up here. I'll get us a point by here in a moment or so, but let's keep hitting those marks. Keep that vision forward. Alright, well, stay with me. We're going to get a point by here. We're going to stay right all the way down to turn 7, giving these folks lots of real estate over there on the left. We'll stay in this lane, so it'll be a little bit tighter radius up here. So we'll be a little more braking than the normal here because it's a tighter turn. Keep those eyes looking ahead. We'll keep that momentum flowing. And again, nice and smooth to that footwork. Keep it hitting our marks. Looking ahead to that next point. Again, that little touch of the brake there just stabilizes weight. I mentally think about I don't want to lose speed when I touch the brake there. I just want to move a little weight, so I, in my mind, think it's just enough to bring the taillights on. That's kind of my focus. Again, looking ahead, so I keep that kind of plan in place. The car where it needs to be on the road. Watch the edge of the road here. Keep those eyes looking forward. Keep the eyes up. Don't look at my back bumper. Keep the eyes looking forward. Be kind of independent of me. You know, look for the reference mark. As you leave one, be looking for the next. Also, that paints that big picture perspective that keeps us from inadvertently getting the car towards the edge of the road and brake zones and stuff. And I am seeing a little bit of that in my mirror. So keep that focus up and see it. I'll leave. Let the car come back across, get squared up here. And I'm not jumping on that. You're jumping on that brake as you're coming across tag lanes. It's bringing the car over to the right there pretty dramatically. Remember that brake pedal influences traction. So we want to make sure we've got the thing like lighting a bottle rocket. You got to make sure it's pointed where you want it to go. So make sure we've got our direction in place, and then we'll get our braking done. Again, then trim that grip through the corner using the brake. The last third of the time on the brakes here, I'm really only using that brake pedal to create balance, not to slow the car down. I've already gotten that accomplished. So again, here's that light touch of the brake. Those eyes looking up the hill, top of the hill, looking ahead. Like skiing, looking way down the mountain, not your ski tips. Keep asking yourself, where am I looking? Not at Doug's bumper. patience, get it down to the apex. Keep those eyes up, bro. So as we come off the hill there, you also have a little bit of tendency to be kind of holding the steering in. As you get to the top of that turn 4 back there, the car should not feel, you shouldn't feel movement. You shouldn't feel, a side-to-side motion of the car. You shouldn't feel nervous. I can see you're kind of holding the steering in, which is going to make the car kind of bind up. Feel that way. We want to, like I'm doing, kind of let the car flow between these points. After the initial turn-in, you don't really want to have a bunch of lateral load, the side-to-side load in the car. We want to be kind of in position and have to be released by straightening up that steering. Those eyes up. Put your car exactly in the tire tracks of mine. Hit those marks. Make every lap, every corner a little better than the last one. Focus, look ahead, have a plan in place. Slow your brain down. We're going to be driving kind of at about a mental max capacity, about 30-40%. We want to make sure we've got lots left on the books to work with if we need it. Keep those eyes up. Patience here. You can see how long I trail in. Help the car to turn. Get down to the apex. Focus on your mark. So like here, a little less steering, vision up. The top of the orange strip with my vision. We're going to let the car release. Use a bit more of the road out here. And then I'll bring it back across, get it squared up, then down on that brake. That's better. Alright, trail it in here. Turn that head, look over the mirror on the driver's door. Smooth release. So again, seamless transitional footwork as you come off that trail brake, back to a bit of throttle. You never want to feel the jostling of the weight change. Using the brake through here to trim the grip. I get all my energy knocked off, my big speed reductions all done in a straight line before I get to the corner. We'll have a similar thing up here once we get to turns 12 and 13. Procedurally, it's identical to the braking we just did back there at the museum complex at 7, 8, 9. Keep those eyes up, looking ahead. Alright, check up here. We got a little bit, somebody dropped some wheels off here. partner. Keep those eyes up. Keep looking ahead. We got a little traffic ahead of us here. Alright, Bo, we'll bring it on in. Watch our speed. Nice job, partner. So once we got you settled down a little bit, it was a little bit kind of darky there at the beginning. And once we get those eyes up, you start hitting your marks, things are getting a bit better. Vision's important. Kind of keeping that focus up where we need to be is also important. I want to make sure, like I said, every lap's a little better than the last one. Have that kind of thought process going into this. And again, you're doing a good job. Speed's not a divine right. You probably know that. You got a little background. We have to kind of put all the pieces in place to get a desirable result. If one little thing's out of place, like a golf swing, it can kind of throw everything off. So making sure that we've got that car down to those apexes, kind of doing that checks and balance thing's really good, and just having that kind of thought process in place. That's okay. I've done that. Moving on, moving to the next spot. Constantly refreshing that vision. Again, keeping my vision up away from the back of the car ahead of me. Because